Death is not a moment, it's a process, and science has now mapped it in extraordinary detail. From the final heartbeat to what happens weeks later. What you're about to hear is not horror for shock value. It's the real biology of what every single human being will go through. Stay with me, the heart stops. But that single event triggers a cascade that takes days, sometimes weeks, to complete. In the seconds after cardiac arrest, the brain is still receiving oxygen from blood already in the vessels. Consciousness lasts, on average, 15 to 20 seconds after the heart stops. Some patients revived after brief cardiac arrest report those seconds as extraordinarily vivid. The brainstem, the most primitive and resilient part of the brain, continues attempting to restart respiration for several minutes. Gasping sounds after death are not the person trying to breathe. They're the brainstem running its last automated sequence. Research published in 2023 captured gamma wave activity at levels exceeding normal waking consciousness in the 30 to 60 seconds after cardiac arrest. The brain was not shutting down. It was lighting up. Memory pathways activated simultaneously, the same neural pattern seen during the most vivid dreaming states in life. This is the biological root of what near-death survivors describe. The life review, the sensation of extreme clarity, the feeling of profound significance, not hallucination, not imagination. A documented neurological event driven by massive glutamate release as the oxygen supply cuts off. Within minutes of death, cells that depended on continuous oxygen supply begin ischemic cascade. They swell. Their membranes become permeable. Calcium floods in, activating nothing, destroying everything. Within 2 to 4 hours, livor mortis begins. Blood pools in the lowest parts of the body due to gravity, causing visible discoloration. Rigor mortis follows within 2 to 6 hours, not from muscle contraction, but from the depletion of ATP, the chemical that allows muscle fibers to relax. Without ATP, the actin and myosin proteins in muscle lock permanently in place. The body becomes rigid, not from death itself, but from the exhaustion of the energy system that kept it flexible in life. 72 hours after death, corneal cells, the cells of the eyes, are still viable for transplant. They still respond to stimulation. Certain neurons have been found firing for hours after cardiac arrest. Gut bacteria, 37 trillion organisms, have no awareness of death. With the immune system gone, they begin consuming the host without restriction. They migrate through the intestinal walls into the blood. They produce gases that cause the body to swell visibly. Hair and nails do not continue growing after death. That is a myth. But skin retracts as it dehydrates, making nails and stubble appear longer. Your body is not still growing. It is shrinking away from what it built. Decomposition follows 4 stages: fresh, bloat, active decay, and skeletonization. The timeline is controlled entirely by environment: temperature, humidity, exposure. A body in the tropics reaches active decay in days. A body preserved in dry cold can take centuries. Forensic scientists use the science of decomposition to time deaths with extraordinary precision, studying insect succession, bacterial populations, and chemical signatures unique to each stage. Your body, in decomposing, feeds an ecosystem. Nutrients locked in tissue for decades return to the soil. Trees grow from what you were. Death is not the end of the biology. It is the transfer of it. Every atom in your body has been part of other living things before. After you, it will be part of others again. Understanding what happens when we die is not morbid. It is the most honest science we have. Subscribe to SparkShift Saga, new dark science every day.